Oh, good day. Great day, everyone. Great day. It is Friday, the 1st of May, 2026. I'm Matthew Levi. This is the Oracle. Decided to come outside today. Be outside today to do this. These little messages here. I'll walk around my backyard out here and look at all the pretty flowers. Today is the full moon in Scorpio, also known as the flower moon. Probably got a little too far away from the Wi-Fi there. But yeah, full moon in Scorpio today. Tonight. It's my third house of communication. But first day of May, my birthday month. Beltane's coming up pretty quickly. A lot of people celebrate it today, even though it's not for another 4 days. It happens on the 5th when the sun goes 15 degrees in Scorpio. But anyway, I woke up this morning, like every morning, and usually ask, what is it I need to know today? And for three words this morning. As I sit this down here, try to get this set. There we go. 3 words this morning that came to me whenever I asked what it is I need to know today. And they were trust, they were peace, respect, and trust. And I apologize if the video keeps cutting out. I've stepped outside today, so the connection may be slow. May not have been the best choice, but anyway, we're here. We're outside on the patio today, on this beautiful May day. And so, like I said, peace, respect, and trust. You know, peace is something that you give yourself. Peace comes from within. Peace is only something that you can give yourself, and it's not something that can be taken by force or given by force or through force. It is truly the gift that you give yourself, and honestly, I think it comes from a place of respect, that you have to have a certain amount of respect for yourself and for others, as well as a certain amount of trust in yourself and others. And I know with all the goings on in the world, that can be a bit of a challenge. Learning to respect and trust each other and be peaceful within. But that peace really does come internal. And I don't want to say apathy, but it sometimes you have to just not give a fuck, right? You have to sort of keep your fuck it bucket full, right? This person's doing that and it's causing you irritation. Well, why is it causing you irritation, right? Where's your peace? Where's your peace? If somebody else is doing something, well, that's on them. You know? And then respect. You know, respecting yourself, respecting your body, respecting other people and their choices that they make to do with their body or their life, to live their life their way. And I know sometimes that can be challenging. And but that's their path to walk, just like it's your path to walk. It's your life, you know. People may say things or do things that may seem disrespectful to you or disrespect you, and what that does is stir up that conflict within you, disturb your peace, your inner peace. But that's when they do that, you're giving your power away to them. You're truly giving your power away to them. because peace is yours to have or to not have. It all comes within here, from in here. And then the trust part, you know, I get it. You know, trust can be challenging, because let's just face it, people be fucking bugging, yo. People be fucking bugging, especially right now with all the goings on in the world. You know, these energies that are whirling and swirling around, the energy of change. Change is in the air, you know. It's May 1st, May Day. You know, Beltane is coming up in 4 days. That's high spring, man. That's as high spring when everything is in bloom. You know, the sun is shining bright on us. You can see I'm out here today. It's shining bright. It's sitting right there behind that Japanese maple tree. But trusting each other and trusting yourself and your own discernment, your intuition, you know, and that comes with experience, that comes with practice, and learning how to follow your intuition and trust in your internal guidance and trust in your knowing. I've had some experience with learning to trust other people, especially with my life. Literally putting my life in other people's hands. Being on the job as a firefighter, you have to learn to trust real quick, and trust that people are going to do the right thing. Now, in that job, we all worked for a common goal and a common purpose, so it became a little easier to trust those guys, because you know that you're all working toward the same end. And so learning to trust your gut and trust other people is a bit of a challenge sometimes, especially, like I said, with the shit happening in the world right now. You don't really know who to trust, you know? You don't know who to trust. You know, you can't really trust the media. You can't trust the government and anything that comes out of there. At least I can't. It's hard. It's hard. And it's a challenge that I have myself. Man, it's a little chilly out here. Got the chills. But I trust me. I trust myself. I trust my wife. I trust a select group of friends, you know, and I generally trust humanity as a whole. Trust humanity as a whole, you know, because I truly feel that we all want the same things in life. We all want the same things in life. We want to have peace. We want to be able to live our lives the way we see fit, without somebody trying to control us and manipulate us or deceive us. And in today's world, that's a challenge. That's a challenge. I mean, especially with social media and the mainstream media, you know, there's a lot of deception and manipulation going on in the world right now. But it is all coming to light, and we're all seeing it. We're all experiencing it and feeling it more so. And I think we're getting these intuitive hits that ping on our discernment and our intuition, that are saying, that's a falsehood there. Dogs. Anyway, that ping on our discernment and cause us to question, one, ourselves, two, other people. Good grief. You guys hear them making a mess back there? Sorry, that was just a little bit of my tism kicking in. hard for me to stay focused. I have a focused awareness, but it doesn't take much to distract that awareness. But the trust, man, the trust issues, people have trust issues. I myself have had them. I still deal with them and work with them, especially when it comes to like the government and the media. But I've learned to trust my intuition. Learn to trust what my higher self is telling me, what my soul self is telling me. I've learned to listen to my body, and whenever it rings out that there's deception, to trust that, and to look deeper into whatever it is that somebody's telling me. And so maintaining my peace is really my priority, and not letting myself get pulled into the fray, so to speak, and fall into that trap of anger or hatred or misalignment, and allowing that to project out of me. Now, I've spoke many times about Hermetic law, which is natural law, you know, as above, so below, as within, so without, how we're all energy and the energetic body works, and how the outside world is a mirror of what's going on inside you and your inside world. And so the trust in governance and the media to tell the truth, that is a great challenge, you know. Especially being an anarchist, which doesn't believe in that kind of hierarchy, you know, no kings, no rulers, so to speak. I do have absolute trust in spirit and natural law. It's hard for me to trust man, though, even though I have a deep love for mankind and humanity. But that's essentially the message today. It is peace, that it is always within you. It is always within you. And then the respect, you know, respecting yourself and respecting each other, respecting each other's truth, you know, because the way you see the world may not be the way somebody else sees the world. You know, just because I see the world being gripped and run by corruption and evil men, so to speak, that are out to make a profit off of you, off of me, and off of everybody else, it makes it a challenge to trust anything, especially coming through these screens. And so that's why I always say, you know, trust yourself, trust in your intuition. You know, what is it telling you? Listen to your body. Listen to your body, because we all have that within us, that inner authority, so to speak. You know, some people are highly tuned into it. Some people were tuned into it and tuned it out because they listened to other people that said that, no, you're crazy. You're crazy. That's not real. Well, just because you didn't experience it doesn't mean I didn't experience it. You know what I mean? But you have to have a certain amount of respect for other people, you know, and the things that they say, especially when it comes to personal experiences. You know, who are you to tell somebody when they say, man, I had this crazy wild experience where that I can't explain it, but it was so real. It was so real. It was so visceral and so physical that I can't deny that happened. And then that person says, "No, you're crazy. That didn't happen. That can't happen." You know? Yeah, well, That's just showing disrespect, in my opinion. Because it did happen. It did happen. These things do happen. People have crazy, wild experiences every day. You know? So, trust in yourself, trust in your discernment, and then you'll learn to be able to trust others, especially face to face. You know. So anyway, that's essentially the main message today. It is peace, respect, and trust. Peace is always within. It's not outside of you. You're never going to find it outside of you, ever. Ever. It's always in here, and it's always a conscious choice, just like respect is, just like trust is. Everything is a conscious choice. When you're awake in body, it's a choice. Everything you say, everything you do, the way you react, the way you respond, it's a choice. Life is a choice. We all chose to be here. You guys have heard me say that time and time again, that we all chose to be here. And why do we choose to come here at this time? Because it's fucking exciting. It's exciting. You know, if you look at it as exciting rather than anxiety filled, right? That's the difference between looking through the lens of love or the lens of fear. That's the difference between anxiety and excitement. They're essentially the same feeling within your body. They're essentially the same feeling. It's just one is triggered by love and one is triggered by fear. Those are essentially the two frequencies that you've got to learn to discern. Learn for yourself to discern. So, well, that was the message today. On this Scorpio full moon, this flower moon that we have tonight, peaking tonight around 9:20. Will reach its peak. Think about those things today. Ponder on those things today and what they mean for you, and where you may be giving away your power, giving away your peace, where you may be allowing disrespect, where you may not be respecting someone else, someone else's vision, or someone else's truth, because here in this plane, it's all subjective, right? It's all subjective. We look at it, try to look at it objectively, but it's all subjective. And so, and then trust, learning to trust in yourself, man. Trust in yourself and trust in your intuition and what it's trying to tell you. Even as I'm talking here, right? When you hear these words coming out of my mouth, how do they feel? How do they resonate? Do they land? Do they make sense? You know? I'm not here to deceive anyone. I'm here to help guide and lead you back into yourself. Show you your power, man. Your power. You have all the power and all the control within your life. Just like I do. You have the power to choose peace or to choose hate. Right? To choose love or choose fear. I choose love every time. Every time. And sometimes that means choosing myself over somebody else. Because honestly, it's my life. Just like it's yours. You know? And it's not being selfish. It's no longer sacrificing your peace, your energy, your body, your mind for anybody else. And whenever you learn to trust yourself and trust your intuition, and you learn to trust in other people, those things, those people that match your frequency will come in. They will join you. It's just Hermetic law. It's law of correspondence. It's resonance, man. It's frequency and vibration. It's resonance. So take your power back. Claim your peace. Respect yourself and respect other people's paths. If somebody wants to go off and run their mouth or go off and fight war and do that, you have to respect it. It's their choice. It's their life to give. Their life to live. So anyway, let's pull a card here from the Power of Love deck since it's Friday. And that's usually what we do on Fridays. Let's see what it is. Oh boy. We get the forgiveness card today. Forgiveness card. You have to be able to activate the power of love in order to release those past hurts. Woo, this is a hard concept, man. This is one that I personally have struggled with a lot over my life. Not so much anymore. Because of like I said, I've learned to respect other people's path and other people's truth, you know, their subjective truth, as well as my own. And forgiveness is not condoning another person's behavior. It is for you. It is severing that energetic cord. It is releasing that grip, right? That past hurt, as the card says. It really is releasing that stuff and no longer carrying it. However challenging it may be, because, you know, we get so conditioned to replaying those events over and over and over and over again, and holding on to that stuff, holding on to that energy, and projecting that out. Again, back to the law of correspondence. And so that attracts others that may want to hurt us. That attracts others that will match and mirror that same experience that we're holding on to, right? That's what that does. So forgiveness is 100% for you, and it took me a long time to learn that, but it is 100% for you, and it's learning to lovingly release that person, that event, that memory, that trauma, that wound, whatever it may be, so that you're no longer carrying it, right? It's not condoning bad behavior. It is setting yourself free. It is literally taking a giant sword and cutting that energetic cord between you and that person, or you and that event, and setting yourself free, right? And like the card says, activate the power of love in order to release those past hurts. Because you guys have heard me talk about love and how love should be unconditional, but we're taught conditions, and we have people put conditions on the love that they give us, and we put conditions on the love that we give to others. We put conditions on the love that we give to ourselves. I'm super guilty of that. I have been so guilty of that, of not loving myself, getting caught in that cycle, that loop of self-hate, that vicious circle, right? So forgiveness today, as well as peace. And if you learn to forgive, you learn to forgive people and forgive yourself. And more importantly, forgive yourself for not listening to your intuition, not trusting yourself, not respecting yourself, for staying in situations longer than you should have, longer than you knew you should have been there, right? Because like I said, we all get those intuitive hits when we get around people, you know, and hear their words and feel their energy. But we want to, you know, we just want to stay. We want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Especially when it comes to parents or close peers, family. You know, we want to give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, they say they love us, but they put conditions on it. That's not real love. That's not real love. So learn forgiveness today and give yourself back that gift of peace. Give yourself that gift of peace. So, anyway, let me check out some of the comments here. Daniela says she's totally taking her power back one step at a time. She also says forgiveness is not easy. It takes a certain level of letting go that makes you vulnerable. Yeah. It does. It does. And that's the challenge, is being vulnerable. That's where the trust comes in. It's allowing yourself to be a little bit vulnerable, allowing yourself to be a little bit raw, a little bit real, authentic, right? We're moving into a time where the deception, we're seeing it happen in real time, right? We're seeing it happen in real time every day. Every day. We see the deception in the media. We're keen to it. We're catching on to it. We're becoming better and quicker at discerning it. And it causes us to not want to trust. But you have to. You have to learn to trust, because if you spend your life constantly seeking out the deception and not trusting, that's exactly what you're going to find. More deception, more reasons to not trust, more reasons to be angry. And what does that do? That wrecks your inner peace. That wrecks your peace. It's literally giving your power away, giving your peace to somebody else and saying, here, take it, disrespect me, abuse me, make me fearful. So, anyway, questions, comments. If you guys would like a card, drop a comment. Say, card, I'd like one, I'll take one. Or I've got a question. If you got a question, drop that too. Other than that, man, peace is always within you. You're not going to find it outside. And go back to what I just said. You know, watching the media, watching the stuff play out within the government, watching the geopolitical mess that's happening, the just straight up active deception that's going on out there. When when the leaders of this free world say that, you know, the economy's the best it's ever been, but you know it's bullshit, because you're spending your hard-earned money on things that are 5 times more expensive than they were 2 years ago. So anyway, Shaka, get a Shaka a card here. Thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate you all. I really do. Joining me here. I know I've been quite quiet over the last couple weeks here on social media. And so, what does Shaka need to know today? Sort of being very introspective about things myself, but anyway. Shaka, what does Shaka need to know today? Shaka gets the Freedom card. Shaka gets the Freedom card. Says you're releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations through the loving energy of openness. Being open, that is freedom, man. That is freedom. Being a little bit vulnerable, that's freedom. I know it's scary. But you can change that. You can flip that around. It doesn't have to be scary. It can be fun. It can be exciting. It doesn't have to be filled with anxiety and angst. You know, that's real freedom. Releasing those self-imposed restrictions, because we all put them on us. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I've been guilty of it. Putting restrictions on myself. You know, even when it comes to doing this and trying to grow this and expand this. You know, there's things I'd like to do, but I just don't feel like I have the skill set to do it. Does that make sense? And that's a self-imposed restriction or a perceived limitation. I know I can do it. I'm actually quite a smart guy, quite intelligent. I'm capable. It's just a matter of, do I really want to? You know, for me. But freedom comes from, for me, from being self-reliant, from being self-reliant and self-sufficient. And that's essentially what this card says, is you know, release those self-imposed restrictions and perceived limitations that you may have put on yourself, or that actually somebody else may have put on you that you taken in and believed, right? somebody else may have put inside you, and you take it and believe like the limitations that you can't do something, or you can't go somewhere, or you can't be what you want to be. Absolutely you can. That's the choice. That's the beauty of this life, is we get to choose what we want. We get to choose what we do and what we want. So, Shaka, lean into your freedom today. Let go of those restrictions, those limitations that you've put on yourself, and lean into love and unconditionally loving yourself and respecting yourself and trusting in yourself and your abilities. Everybody has a unique set of abilities and gifts, you know. It's just the way you use them and the way you perceive them. You can either perceive them as a limitation. You know, for me, my highly sensitive, clairsentient, and clairaudient nature, as well as a very analytical mind that wants to replay shit over and over and over and over again to try to see deeper, try to get deeper meaning out of it, or be critical of myself. So lean into your gifts. Find your gifts. Everybody has them. Everybody has them. And those gifts are what we came in here to use to help us navigate and overcome the challenges in our life. You know, we all come in here, I believe, with a certain theme or storyline or a certain effect that we want to have on this world, and we all have the gifts to do it, to navigate those challenges, to get to where we're needing to go. So, Daniela, what does Daniela need to know today? Daniela gets transformation. This is a bit of confirmation for you that you are going through a transformation. I've witnessed it. I've seen it over the last several weeks and months since you've started joining me here. But transformation, it says you need to use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. Whoo! That's discernment. That's discernment. Use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. The illusion is the fear. Fear is the illusion. Fear is the false evidence appearing real. Right? You guys have heard me talk about fear before, and this idea that fear is real. It is a primal switch, a primal trigger to alert us to potential danger, man. To alert us to potential danger. But use that power of love to shift through the illusions and into awareness, to become aware of what's actually happening. Become aware of your gifts. And that's okay. I'll get Angela here. But transformation, that's how you transform the situation. You don't respond from that place of fear. That's what fearlessness is. That's the practice of fearlessness and being fearless. It's not that you're not triggered by the fear, it's that you're not responding from the fear. The fear triggers, you see the illusion, oh, this ain't real. There's no real danger here, right? There's no actual real threat to life and limb. And if there is, well, then I mitigate that danger by either taking the active steps to diminish the risk, or I completely move away from it. So, Angela, what does Angela need to know today? What does Angela need to know? Transformation for Daniela. Freedom for Shaka. Peace for everyone. Angela. It was a little chilly out here for me today. Willingness. Angela gets willingness. Willingness. It says you have to be able to compromise if the end result is love. Willingness. You have to be willing to see the other person's perspective, to see the other person's truth. Right? This is the practice of non-engagement, or engagement here, from the shamanic teachings that I teach. When you choose to engage, you don't respond from that place of fear. You respond from a place of love. You respond from a place of willingness to engage and come to a compromise that is a win-win for everybody, right? Because if you engage from that place of fear just to argue or just to prove that you are right, well, then you're simply engaging in the argument for sport. You're not really willing to compromise. You're not willing to give the other person the benefit of the doubt. You're not willing to compromise and say, you know what, I can give this away, I can give a little bit of this away, and you know, if you can give a little bit of that away, we can find a compromise and we can meet in the middle. So she says, what? I'm not always right? No, and I'm not always right. You know, I've been wrong before. And I've done people wrong. I work very hard now not to do that, though. I'm very willing now to see the other side. I've always sort of been willing to see the other side. I've always been willing to, that's just something I've always done, because as somebody that feels like he's been constantly and chronically misunderstood his whole life, I've tried to put myself in other people's shoes to see their side of the argument. And that's what the willingness is being willing to look at it from their perspective, right? Even though you have yours, and theirs is a match and a mirror of yours, actually. You need to be willing to compromise. We're not going to bring peace into this world. We're not going to be able to bring the peace that's within us out into this world if we're unwilling to see somebody else's perspective. If we're unwilling to say, you know what, I may have been a little wrong here, you know, forgive me for that. I forgive myself for that. Let's see what we can do to come to a compromise where everybody comes out balanced and fair, where everybody's a little willing. So, all right, as Angela says, that's true. She's been working on that as of late, so it's spot on for her. Yeah, they usually are. Junior, thank you for tuning in from Ghana, Africa. Appreciate you being here. So what does Junior need to know today? What does Junior need to know today? Junior gets the integrity card. The integrity card. You have to demonstrate the truth and honesty of your soul and manifest love in every action. Ooh, this is another one of the shamanic practices that I teach, is integrity. This is doing what you say when you're going to do it. This is honoring your word. This is being honest and truthful with yourself and with others. This is actively working to manifest love in every situation. And it's again, it goes sort of to the willingness card in the non-engagement practice. When and where you engage, you need to come from a place of integrity, right? Do I want to win and prove that I'm right? Or do I want, a fair and equitable exchange? And I think we all want a fair and equitable exchange, but integrity is you have to demonstrate the truth and honesty of your soul to manifest love with your every action, right? This is doing what's right first time, every time, all the time, and maintaining that. So integrity for you today, Junior. Integrity. Demonstrate the truth and honesty of your soul and manifest love in every situation. That requires openness. That requires vulnerability. That requires you to be a little bit raw, a little bit real, to be wholly authentic, to not hide parts of yourself, right? To be fully transparent with what you say and what you do, right? And I think that may be why we're seeing a lot of this stuff going on in the world right now, because the light is pumping into this place and it's highlighting the shadows, everybody's shadow, self included, highlighting everybody's shadows, and more importantly, the collective shadows that we have. And the more transparent we can become, meaning the less we hide of ourselves and the less we hide ourselves away, right? The more we make peace with our past, with our traumas, with our wounds, the more forgiveness that we have for ourselves and for those that hurt us and harmed us. The more transparent we can become, right? The more integrity we can have. So integrity today. Integrity today. So anyway, anybody else with me? If you guys are with me, do me a favor, spank the share button, hit the stars button. Those help, you know, that helps monetize this page and helps me to continue to do this and put that money back into bigger protection, which is something that I am working on. That goes to one of those things where, you know, those self-limitations there. You know, I'm not very techy. I've not been a very tech guy. I've always been a very, very ethereal, very earthy guy, and not mess with tech too much. I don't know, something about the frequency feels a bit icky to me. You know, it just doesn't jive with my frequency. I think because there's a lot of deception within it, and that's hard for me to deal with sometimes. So, but all of that helps. I'm looking to get, you know, another static camera to set up and increase the production value, so to speak. I would like to learn some editing stuff, learn how to edit some of this stuff and be able to clip some of these things up and put them out in reels and other things, and as well as YouTube videos. I'd like to start a podcast, but so, would love to have a reading if drawn. I just pulled you one, babe. I pulled you one. I pulled you a card, but I'll pull you another one. What else does Daniela need to know? What does Daniela need to know? Daniela needs kindness. Kindness. Be a humanitarian made of love, and you'll be able to share that energy with others. Kindness. Kindness. Kindness is the virtue that combats envy. Kindness is the virtue that combats the vice of envy, jealousy. So be a humanitarian. Be able to share that energy with others. Be able to share your love with others, which goes back to the message. You know, stop hiding yourself away. Be transparent. Be vulnerable. Allow yourself to experience new places, new people, new opportunities. Right? Be a humanitarian. Give back. Right? We've talked about this before. It's better to give than to receive, and what you give, you will receive. This is simply the law of correspondence and energy exchange. As within, so without. What you put out is what you get back. So, yeah. So, kindness. Be a humanitarian made of love. Made of love. We're all made of love. That is our essence. That is who we are at our core. We are light beings, right? You've heard me say we're not a body with a soul. We're a soul with body. What do you think that soul is? It's made of light. It's made of light. Human means light manifested. We're light condensed down into this physical form. We are all spirit. And outside of this plane, in the unseen world, in the spirit world, it is all unconditionally loving. That is who we are at our core. So be kind today. Be kind today. That person or place or whatever, those people that have treated you unfair or that you may still hold a little bit against, be kind. Go love them. Go love them. Forgive them and tell them that you love them, you know, if they're still in your life. But more importantly, be kind to yourself. You know, as someone who has gone round and round that vicious cycle of self-hate and loathing, I understand how important it is to be kind to myself. And by being kind to myself, I'm able to be kind to others because I recognize you as me. You are just another form of me. You are spirit just like me. So, Shaka says that is, just make sure that when you give it, is not to receive it. Yes, that's the only liberation, is doing it for others. Yeah. Don't give it expecting to get it back. Know that you will get it back. And it may not come back from the person you give it to. It may come from somewhere over here, right? Right? You give with the right hand, you receive with the left hand. That's like I'm giving over here to this person and I'm allowing myself to receive from this person. It's a natural law. It's a natural law. correspondence is. This is the as within, so without of Hermetic principle here, right? But if you're doing it just to try to receive, no, that's the wrong purpose. That's doing it from a place of greed, of manipulation. That's doing it from a place that lacks integrity, right? That's doing it from a place that lacks integrity. You have to have integrity, as Junior's card showed. You have to have integrity. You have to do it just because it's the right fucking thing to do, right? And you have to do it first time, every time, all the time. And that can be the challenge because, like I said, people out there be bugging. People be fucking tripping right now out there. So, as Daniela says, she never wants anything in return other than to see the smile on their face. Well, that's good. That's good. It's a good reason to give, just to make the world a better place. That's kindness, right? That is kindness. But that's just how it works. That's just the energy mechanics of it. Truly, I say to you, the more you give, the more you will receive. It's just how it works. That's how it works. What you put out is what you get back. So, anyone else? Anyone else? Also, do me a favor. Check out the links in the corner. Check out my webpage, my YouTube pages. Again, I said I put all these up over there on YouTube as well. So, Facebook takes them down after about 30 days. Takes down the lives because I don't convert them into reels. Because again, the whole editing thing. But I do put them up so you can go back and watch some of the past videos, past messages, past times on my YouTube page, my YouTube channel. So anyway, I also brought the Nature Spirits deck out here today, so let's see if they've got anything for us on this full moon. The Nature Spirits. As I sit outside today rather than inside, as the sun is coming through and shining, you hear the birds chirping, you may be able to hear the waterfall over there. I wish you guys had smell-o-vision and you could smell this honeysuckle I've got over here that's in bloom, because it smells amazing. So sweet. So the Nature Spirits. The Nature Spirits give us the Eagle card, the Vision card. Oh man, the Vision card, the Eagle. This is about raising your perception. This is about shifting your perspective and raising your perception up to a higher level, up to the level of spirit. This is literally being able to pull yourself outside your body and look at the bigger picture. And look at the bigger picture. So today, use your vision. Use your spiritual vision. Your spiritual vision. Right? This is looking with this eye, not these two eyes. This is listening with your heart, not with your ears. This is literally like the eagle, flying high above, being able to see the path ahead, being able to see where the water flows, being able to see where it goes, being able to see the obstacles that may be in your path. So the Eagle message today also, raise yourself up, raise your awareness up, get out of those lower frequencies down here in your lower root chakras, the I am, the I feel, the I do. Get up here into the I speak, the I know, the I see. Right? This is what this is about today, raising your perception. Raising yourself up, looking at the world from a bigger perspective than just your little limited perspective here. Right? This is trying to see the world from what Spirit has for us. Right? What the Great Spirit, the Creator, has in store, what it's trying to do, the vision it has for the world. Because I can tell you, it does not match the vision that man has for it right now. And I believe that's why we're experiencing the things we're experiencing. That's why all the deception and the lies are being shown upon right now, that the light is shining on them and being illuminated so that we can see. And so we can see a better way forward. We can do what we need to do to work to bring peace in this world. And again, it all starts within. You have to have it within, because as I said, as within, so without. You want a peaceful world out there, you got to be peaceful in here. You got to be peaceful in here. The whole concept of peace through strength, that's a fallacy. That is a fallacy. And that is weakness masquerading as peace, masquerading as strength, and it's not. It's absolute weakness. So anyway, one more, and then I'm gonna go have some coffee. Actually, I got coffee right here. All right, what else? The lotus, the resurrection card. You guys may see that happening right now across the world. But the lotus message, you know, it's a beautiful, fragrant flower, but without the mud and the muck, we would have no lotus. Meaning without all of that hardship that we experienced in the past, we would not be able to bloom into the beautiful flower and have the beautiful life that we want. We had to go through that shit to get to where we are now. So look back on it from the lens of love and understand, find the gifts that you got in it. This is a concept I've talked about many times. But the resurrection card, we are being resurrected right now. This has nothing to do with religion or the resurrection of Christ, which is just simply the Son, right? They changed S-O-N to S-U-N, or S-U-N to S-O-N. It's resurrected every morning. Go stand in it. Thank it. Allow it to warm your body. Allow it to fill you up with its light. And shine that light out your eyes. Project that love out. But the resurrection card, you know, the 22, that's doubled up in the power of the heart right there. You know, you guys have heard me talk about the 2 being the heart space, the heart chakra. And it is truly I love. And love should be unconditional. Meaning that those people in your life that you see doing things that you don't agree with, love them enough to let them go on and find it themselves. Let them go on to go and fall and fail and hurt themselves. If they ask for your guidance, fine, help them. Right? Stop trying to interject yourself into other people's lives and control other people's lives and manipulate them to the way that you want them to be. Especially when it comes to children, those of you that have children, parents. You know, there's a scripture that says, train up a child in the way that he should go and he'll never part from it. That's the way they should go, not the way you want them to go. It's the way they should go. Because they have their own gifts, they have their own ideas, they have their own life path that they're supposed to walk. You got to let them find it. That is them growing toward the light. Let them get out of your shadow. Right? Release that control. Gently guide. Gently guide. But resurrection card today, the lotus. Raise up. Right? You've gone through that. Your roots are deeply anchored. Rise up out of that muck and shine and be that beautiful flower that you are. Right? That beautiful blossom as we're here in springtime. So, anyway, I'm going to flip this camera around here, let you guys get a look at some of my beautiful flowers here. So you see all that honeysuckle. Oh man, it smells so good. It smells so good. My clematis. My trellis rose bush. My sage is blooming. So pretty. Fern. Some dianthus. A little alyssum. And then my big, beautiful rose bush. Big rose bush. And then more honeysuckle back there on the fence. As the sun shines on me today. I hope it shines on you guys too. I hope it shines on you guys too. That's not come up yet. But I pray for each and every one of you every day. Each and every one of you. That each and every one of you find it. Here's another little Little flower bed with some pretty flowers, some coreopsis, some Shasta daisies, some flax, more dianthus, a little bit of mullein. But allow the sun to shine on you and allow your sun to shine on other people today. All right? Give your love away. Give it away and it'll come back to you. Give it away. So, anyway, I thank you guys for being here today on this beautiful, beautiful May 1st, this beautiful May day, as Beltane is right around the corner. We have the flower moon in Scorpio tonight, full moon in Scorpio tonight. That's also why I wanted to show you guys some of my flowers back here. And then synchronicity of getting the lotus card, that beautiful flower. So anyway, unless you guys have any more questions or comments, I think that's going to do it for me today. As again, I said, I appreciate you all. I'd appreciate the stars. Appreciate sharing this out. I appreciate you guys sharing your time with me this morning, as I do every Friday morning. It's just really a beautiful day. Life is beautiful. Life is what you make it, and that peace is always within you. You're not going to find it outside. Yeah, there are things that are going to match it, that may bring you some peace, that may help spark that within you, like the honeysuckle or the roses, or this dianthus here, or my pond, you know, or the other flower beds, or the sage, or even my puppy. Even my puppy back here. Say hi, Belmadou. You know, so just be at peace today. Be respectful of yourself and respectful of others. Trust in yourself, trust in your discernment, trust in other people, you know, because we're all in this shit together. We're all in this together. You know, like Ram Dass said, we're all just walking each other home. We're just here for a little time, a little short time. You know, I turn 50 next Wednesday, day after Beltane. I'm a Beltane baby. And so I've learned a lot over the last 50 years. And I've had some hardships, but I've also had some victories. And every day that I wake up in body here, back in body, I am super grateful and super thankful to be here, that I get to do this, because there are so many souls outside of here wishing that they could be here right now for this super exciting time, this powerful transformative time, as we got the transformation card earlier. This truly is a magical and transformative time. And so take the time today to just sit outside if you can and just take it all in, man, because it's really fucking magic. It is so magical. Raise yourself up to that eagle level and look at it from the view of spirit, as just how diverse and how amazing this place really is. You know, it's truly an amazing place. It's truly amazing. And if you got some puppies that love on you like this one does, she is so full of love, and I appreciate having her in my life. So just be appreciative today, folks. Find that peace within, because that's where it's at. Respect each other. Trust each other. You know, if you spend your whole life mistrusting and not trusting anybody, I feel for you. I have compassion for you, because it can't be fun. There's got to be some misery there. You know, we're not here just to suffer. It's not all pain and suffering, man. There is so much beauty in this world. And I promise you, if you really look for it, you will find it. You will find it. And if you be yourself the beautiful divine being that you are, and if you love yourself unconditionally the way I do, oh man, like if you guys could see the things I see within you, you know, I've sat with most of you, I've had conversations with most of you face to face or in person, video call or whatever, and if you guys could see what I see in each and every one of you, you would see the world differently, and you would see yourselves differently. It's just, I know sometimes I have a hard time expressing it and saying it, but each and every one of you are beautiful, you're amazing, you're talented, you're loving. So be that. Find your gifts, use them. Each and every one of you have them. Use them today and every day. You know, like I said, it's May 1st. High spring. Plant those seeds. The things that you do today, are going to take shape over the next 30, 40 days to a year. You know, this month is magical. We get 2 full moons this month. 2 full moons. We start out with this full moon today in Scorpio, and we will close out the month on the 31st with the full moon in Sagittarius. 2 totally different energies. 2 totally different energies. Right? One being deep and penetrating. Maybe a little hard sometimes. Right? That Scorpio energy. And then we get the fun-loving, happy Sagittarius, the happy-go-lucky Sagittarius, the wildfire. You know, that can either scorch you or save you. So anyway, that's it for me today, folks. I truly do love you, and I truly do thank you, each and every one of you that have joined me this morning. You are greatly appreciated. Like I said, do me a favor, spank the share button, spank the stars button, donate, share, give, hit the links, check out my other stuff, and just be love. Be the love you want to see. Be the peace that you want to see in the world. Be the change, because you are the change agent in your life. Nobody's going to be able to do it for you but you. It is your life. Take control of it. Make peace with your past. Let it go. Forgive. Be kind. Maintain your integrity. Be transparent. Right? Because when you're transparent, you have nothing to hide. Nobody can use anything against you. They have no ammunition, no weapons to use against you. Think about that. Think about that. So, anyway, till next time, next Friday for sure. I may come back on sometime sooner. I don't know. But till next time, be well and enjoy your life, man. It's not all supposed to be suffering. We're supposed to have fun. Have fun. Laugh. Laughter is good medicine. Laughter is good medicine. So share with each other. Trust each other. And love each other. Till Friday. Be well.